Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is a break from the fruit series, an unscheduled break. This is going to be an add-on to the Mint Long Cut series, which was series number 4. So this will be the add-on. I believe it will be the number 17 slot in that series, skipping 13. I believe it comes in at 17. So why this is happening now? Because Skoal Cool Spearmint was released supposedly nationally on the 14th of this month. I checked for it on the 14th of this month. In my area, stores don't really go out of the way to get products like this out. Like, it's not a thing here, okay? There's nobody sitting around. I was probably the only person all week that asked whether they had this. And they had to check only to tell me that they'd be getting it at some point later in the week. Well, that some point later in the week is today. So, this is the review of Skoal Cool Spearmint. All right, so let's take a look at the packaging. So you have a sky baby blue can, sort of like the original Spearmint. It's rather hard to see stuff on it, even in person. You can see the Skoal Cool Spearmint down low there. The fact that it's long cut. That circle and the border of the letters of Skoal are raised. It has a raised boxed rim in the fashion of U.S. smokeless tobacco products. In reference to the regular Spearmint, you're looking for silver lettering as to the Cool Spearmint instead of black, and the background base color goes all the way out to the raised rim, where this one has a very dark gray, as you can see going around. Now on the website, and I had to ask around about this, on the website they are still showing the Skoal regular Spearmint as Spearmint tobacco blend. I'm not quite sure what the deal with that is. I'm not quite sure if they switched away from that and now have switched back. This can is from the review in November, so it is a possibility they switched back. But the big thing here is between the half circle that goes around and the outer band, on the regular it's dark. On this one it's just a darker blue of the center. All right. Going around to the sideband, we have barcode and manufacturer's information. This is a product of the U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company of Nashville, Tennessee, the makers of Skoal products of Copenhagen, Red Seal, and Husky. Up top is just saying it is a 1.2 ounce that way can, normal size tin, and that it's tax class M, as all dip is. Long cut, some branding. Scrunched U.S. smokeless warning label with stuff like the fact that this is smokeless tobacco. And it is 100% American tobacco. Underage sales prohibited and sales only allowed in the United States. The cut and the flavor again, small branding, barcode, and back around to the manufacturer's information. Now, on the back of this, you do have the U.S. Smokeless Guaranteed Fresh stamped can and a sell-by date. Now, this is a new product, so really we don't have to go over this. But the sell-by date is August 25th, 2019. Okay, so I'm going to crack into it and get this going here. I haven't had any Skoal product, but not any Skoal non-pouch product. this year yet. I had the pouches when I did the pouch series, but even that was a few months ago now. I think that was in January. Okay. Okay, it looks pretty darn moist for a Skoal product. Fairly consistent with a couple regularities. It's clumped in sections, if you can see what I mean by that. You can see like the fault lines running through it, but those lines are separating what I would call clumping. Usually see that in products that have a pretty good moisture level. I'm not really smelling anything just around me here in the room. Now I smell it though. Unfortunately, I actually tried to buy a regular spearmint today too, because I hadn't had the regular for a while since I did the review, which I think it was in November, and they didn't have the regular today. I'm like, you guys kidding me? Really? Okay, it's spearmint, but it is more popping than the original was. It's really, I'm a little surprised I can't smell it from here, because when you get right up to the can, it's pretty potent when you get it close to you. Now, this is going to have a Skoal cut, which is basically a shorter cut in my mind, but Skoal's cut, for whatever reason, is a good cut. That's one thing. I may complain from time to time about the moisture levels, stuff like that. Flavors, depending on which line I'm reviewing. But one thing that I never complain about is Skoal's cut. So, let me show you again inside the can. That is pretty darn close, actually. There are some irregularities, though. Like there's one like right off my tip of my pen right there, which I'm blocking light to. There's a couple like longer, thicker strands. But, with a new product out, there's a new line of assembly going on, and, it may be a little while before all kinks are worked out. So I'm going to take a pinch of this. I am going to take a guess. Now, I don't know. I'm going to take a guess that there has been some sort of mentholation thrown into play here. Sort of like the Timberwolf products and Longhorn product now. The Cool Wintergreens, or the Wintergreen Chill and the Cool Wintergreen. So, I don't know why I'm backing that. I don't know why I took so little. I'll probably take a filler. The product is very moist for a Skoal product. Now, that might be because you're basically guaranteed a new product here. I'll be back in a minute. And I am back. Okay, not quite how I thought it was going to play out. There may be menthol in play here. But since this is a mint, the menthol is covered. Like, it may be there and it's changing the mouthfeel of the product, but it's not coming through as menthol like the Timberwolf and Longhorn product were. Hold on for just a second. Sorry about that. I had to have a word with my... and he just got the last word. With my my buddy Duncan here. A little disagreement running all day long now. So, basically, there may be menthol in this. That may be correct. But you can't really tell that it's menthol because of the mint itself, if that makes any sense. whereas the Timberwolf wintergreen, the cool wintergreen, and the wintergreen chill, whichever one is which with the longhorn and the Timberwolf, whereas you could tell the menthol there because it was wintergreen. Menthol acts differently with the spearmint. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm trying to put across. So what does come across, though, what you're going to notice is the spearmint is much more pronounced flavor-wise. It's a sharper spearmint that has a mouthfeel. Don't want to call it like a wintergreen burn. It's not really a... It's sort of along the lines of a regular mint cooling tingle, but it's a little sharper. All right, it's got an edge to it. Not registering with me as uncomfortable at all, but it's noticeable. The spearmint is a more pronounced, sharp spearmint. There's nothing reserved, laid back about it, which was the case with the regular. The regular, once you had it in for a while, the flavor almost started to build. This, it's bang right off the bat, right out of the gate. It's good. It's different. I mean, it's a different product. It's a mint, and I'm going to add this to the mint playlist, but it's a standout mint. And it's really the only one. Now, the odd part about this is, and I don't really know the history about this, I know the Skoal regular spearmint has been out since, I think it was 1993 they brought it out. This stuff, I believe, was released in limited markets like 5 years ago for a little while. Because I've seen pictures dated from somewhere around 2014 of this. Slightly different design, but it was clearly cool spearmint. I don't think anybody would have taken the time to do a Photoshop job on that. So, I mean, the product has enough nicotine. You know, it's not going to be a Kodiak wintergreen, but on the other hand, it's not going to be like, you know, Kayak or something like that, you know, or CN or Klondike, you know. It's got a bit of nicotine. It's not the highest, okay? I will probably leave this in through the uploading process, and I may see how long I can go with it. In the mouth, it's comfortable. It's staying firm. It did the skull cut cling up going around the side, gave a little bit of resistance. Flavor's good. I like it. I mean, I don't think it's something I could dip every day, but it's definitely stand out, and there's nothing unpleasant about it. It's just what the regular product is, only more pronounced with a little bit more mouthfeel. There's a cooling tingle sting going on. Nothing unpleasant or over the top. It's you know, it's within reason, but there's something there that wasn't there with the regular. Moisture level's great. I mean, when these new products come out, no matter what the company is, you want to get a hold of them right off the bat, because usually if it's a line like Skoal that tends to lean dry, then usually that's your best chance of getting a moist product. And it is moist, and they've been playing that up. I mean, they've been a juicier, you know, and all the pictures of it on their adverts have had it like, you know, spritzed with water and whatnot. The moisture in the can is much higher than Skoal products, with the exception of maybe the Skoal Extra products. It's higher. The Skoal Extra products, for those that don't know, I have done reviews of them, tend to be pretty moist products, the only ones from Skoal. But this stuff is moist. The flavor's good. It's more pronounced than the regular. It's got a little bit of a mouthfeel going on, which makes it juice up a little bit more. So that's what they were alluding to in the advertising. Nicotine's there. It's not going to be terribly high, but I don't think it's real low either. It's, you know, middle of the road. Flavor's good. It's just everything you wanted out of this, they've now given you, but it comes in this can, basically. And that's about it. That's about it. So this has been the Skoal Cool Spearmint review. It's an interesting, different product, and it's pleasant. Okay, not something I would, dip on a daily basis myself. But if you're a mint guy and you want something different, you may want to like add this to a rotation. Out of the two, personally, because of the moisture level, as long as they stick with that, and the mouthfeel, and the pronounced flavor, personally, I would go with the cool over the regular. Really, what it plays out to, what it's translating out to me is, this is basically just an improved version of this. That's how I personally view it. Anyway, I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy. I'd like to say hello to a couple people that popped up in comment sections that I do not recognize. And thank you if you have subscribed. If you haven't, if you would consider it. Or if you know anyone. Renegade Gaming. Hello and thank you. And Joseph Straussman. Hello and thank you for your kind words. I will be back with continuing with the fruit series tomorrow. Kayak Apple will be up next. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.